Hi, my name is June with Common Ground, and today I want to talk about a topic that we do not discuss enough in Christian communities, and that is boredom. When we first find our way back to God and develop that intimacy, there is a period that we go to when we go through where we start to mourn the life that we once had because we feel like we can't do anything as Christians. So I want to give you guys some tips, some hobbies, and some tricks that you guys can do to keep your fire going in this journey. First, let's get into the clip of the day.
Girl, look at this. Girl, look at this. Girl, look at this. Girl, look at this. Did you see this?
I think the hardest part about walking in Christ and really taking your journey seriously and fully surrendering, having the Lord be Lord over your life, is the people around you that don't understand why you're changing or even how you're changing so quickly. To be honest, it's quite uncomfortable. Like, how do you have conversations with people of like, I can't have that conversation with you no more. I can't go there with you anymore. Like, I can't be in certain environments anymore because my heart just does not desire that. Then there comes the judgment of like, well, you did this before. You said you were a Christian then. And it's like, there's a lot of people that say they're Christians, and there's a narrow group of Christians that actually follow Jesus. And when you have that understanding, when God really aligns your path and sets you on the path of righteousness and like have you really follow him and build a relationship with him, it's just really different. And it's so hard to, I think
I really love this video. I was scrolling through my phone and I was planning on using it for something else, but I felt like it went with this topic. And she said something that I wanted to touch bases on. And she said many people claim to be Christians, but basically not everybody is on that narrow path. And that is so true. In Matthew chapter 7 verses 14 tells us the gateway of life is very narrow, the road is difficult, and very few will ever find it. And they're not talking about life here on earth. They're talking about eternal life. And that is so true. So when you first become a Christian, you're going to feel so confined as a Christian, like I can't do this, I can't do that. But that's not necessarily the case. And it is a lot of stuff that we have free will to do, but a lot of that stuff will lead you to hell, and that's not our goal. So as an ambassador of God's kingdom, many people is not going to agree with what you're doing. They're not going to agree with your changes that you are making. However, it's not our journey to be concerned about that or either try to really explain ourselves. Our job is to prove by the way that we are living that the kingdom of heaven is everything, or getting into the kingdom of heaven is everything that we say it is. So we need to make sure that we are walking a path that reflects, this great new life that we're talking about. Because if we're talking about, oh, I gave my life to God, but you over here partying, you over here doing this, doing that, are you really in alignment with what you're saying? So a lot of people will not agree with what you're doing, what you're saying, especially if they are still doing those old things. So I just kind of wanted to insert that clip just in case someone needed to hear that. But now let's get into the song of the day.
I'm done trying to figure it out, yeah.
Today's song of the day is by an artist by the name of Jay Foster. I saw him promoting himself on TikTok earlier this summer, and I really loved his song Blessings. He is the self-proclaimed gospel version of Usher. And he's actually really good. And I didn't realize the song Blessings dropped in 2021. And so when I went to go and insert the song and do all the graphic designing for this episode, I noticed he had a new single out. And I wanted you guys to check that out. And I'm going to insert it here. It's called Show Me. It has a 90s vibe, or a 90s R&B vibe to it. So go ahead and check his music. And I love to see people grinding and sharing their information, their music, or whatever it is that you do. Share your content.
And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for.
So let's get into today's episode. When you answer God's knock, things are going to start to change for you. A lot of things that used to be appealing to you are no longer going to fulfill you. And this period can be full of transformation. So it might be a time where you experience a lot of new people entering your life, as well as old people exiting your life. But sometimes we can find ourselves being alone. And it's easy to get trapped and tricked and think like, dang, like I used to be able to do so many things before. Now that I'm a Christian, or now that I'm trying to have this intimacy with God, I no longer can do anything. So I realized that, and I wanted to make this podcast today. And I also realized a lot of people do not have hobbies, or the hobbies that they were doing no longer fulfills them. So this is going to be a time that you spend a lot of time alone. So it might be time to explore some new hobbies. So I wanted to give some ideas of things that you might be able to do to fulfill yourself during this time and bring entertainment to your life as well, so that you're not bored and you don't mourn the old life that you used to live. And here are a few hobbies that I tried. I took some pottery classes. I did a cake decorating class. I did I think cookie decorating, a pasta class. I did like a lot of cooking stuff, and or just arts. And I'm gonna go into like quite a few different things that you guys can do. But it was good because for my friends or family that I kind of didn't want to discard, but I saw that we no longer had a lot in common. I was able to do these things with them, and it was enough where I could spend time with them and not necessarily cut them off. But it didn't lead me to go back into the things that might interest them more so. And it was also things that my newfound faith did not conflict with them. So it was a nice common ground for us. So go ahead and try some of these things. If you want to get a pen or a pencil, get it out, and I'll start going over the list of activities.
So before we get into actual hobbies that you can do, I wanted to first discuss the 5 hobby rule. And this basically is a recommendation that says that everyone needs at least 5 hobbies, and they're broken down into 5 different categories. The first is you'll need a hobby that's going to make you money. So this is going to be something that you like doing, that you can get money off of and turn it into something entrepreneurial. Then you'll need a hobby that keeps you fit. So this is going to be anything that allows you to have physical activity and move your body. You'll also need a hobby that allows you to be creative. This will be for artistic expression and will also help you with stress. Then you need a hobby that will help you build knowledge. This is going to help you learn or develop a new skill. Once you have that, you'll also need a hobby that is fun and social. This is going to help you connect with others and evolve your mindset. So these are the 5 hobbies that you should have. My list is not broken up into these hobbies, but I just want you guys to keep this in mind when choosing hobbies.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this list. We're going to start off with physical activities. I know I'm someone that gets bored quite often, and working out has never been my thing until now. But I wanted to suggest some things outside of the gym that you might be interested in, and maybe have never done, or, may find a little bit more interesting. And so if you live near a hiking trail, you may want to try to take a hike around your in the hiking trails around your area, or just go for a nature walk. I know that sometimes it feels like I'm closer to God when I walk and pray. I can see his beautiful creations. But outside of that, you might want to try weightlifting, running, biking. If you've been having your eye on maybe like a Zumba class, boxing, different types of workouts, this would be a perfect time to try it, because it's going to take your mind off of things, and it's going to make your body kind of reset. And it would be nice to pop out with, like a whole new frame of mind, a new body, all that stuff. So if you're interested, go ahead and try some different physical activities.
To all my fitness trainers and fitness enthusiasts, this is a good opportunity for you guys to introduce God into your platforms by creating Christian classes where you guys work out to gospel music. And even if you're something like a nutritionist, this is also a good opportunity to show us, what are you eating on your Daniel fast and different facets of that. And it will help you build your community in a community that's already built. So people are searching for these things. You just have to create them.
Another thing that I like to do, or I found helpful, is Groupon. Groupon has a ton of activities on sale from different and local vendors in your area. So that's something that you might want to try if you want to try different classes. I know that in our area they had some spin classes, salsa dancing, aerial workouts, Pilates, different things like that. So if you are very active or want to get active, now would be a perfect time. So this next one is going to be for my readers. And yes, you can always read the Bible, but there are a ton of other books that you can read as well. And I know some of the common genres are going to be memoirs, bibliographies, self-help, motivational, and tons of other categories. However, I don't know if you know, but Christian fiction is a thing. So if you liked fiction books, but you don't want to have to deal with the steamy scenes or the cussing and just different scenarios, there are books dedicated to Christian fiction. So that's something that you might want to check out. And if you are interested in writing, that is something that you can jump into. The thing about becoming a Christian that I love is we can all use our gifts to come together and create. So if you feel like something is missing, that might be your opportunity to add to the kingdom.
I want to leave you guys with some genres as well as some other hobbies for readers. And if you are interested in writing of any sort, whether that is poetry, plays, books, there's a lot of opportunity. Remember, Tyler Perry started off with a large Christian following, and look where he is now. There's also a lot of opportunities for people that want to have book reviews or a book club of some sort and open up a community for that. So there's a lot of opportunity for readers. And let's not also forget about the opportunity to create journals, planners, and devotionals.
The next section that I wanted to cover is going to be video, diary, journals, and blogging. So I personally like to journal. I like to go back and read my thoughts, especially when I feel like I haven't been doing much or I'm stagnant. It's been one of my favorite things to do as of recently, but I know that everybody does not want to write their thoughts, but some people may want to do video journals. Now, whether you share them or not, that's up to you, but it would be nice to, have more people along the road where they can watch you and kind of watch your progress, but you might want to just keep it for yourself for that same reason. And so you could document what you feel, your thoughts, your worries. You can talk about what brought you comfort, and just say them to your camera roll and just watch them later. And then as the time go by, just look back on and reflect on those things. And so you can also build a community off of this. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and try it.
Go ahead and screenshot this list. And I also want to let you guys know, not everything has to be Christian based per se. You can also talk about different things that you're interested in. You can do travel, food, beauty, health, fitness, parenting, faith, tech. There's so many different things that you guys can do, even gaming. I'm just giving you guys some ideas of genres in general, but there's a lot of subcategories that go into these things. So don't be scared to explore. And a lot of gifts that you might have, you may not realize they are gifts because they come natural to you, but they may not be natural to other people. So don't be scared to share them if that's what you choose to do, or keep them for yourself to reflect.
So this next section, I want to talk about the arts. And this goes hand in hand with reading. But a lot of times when we find God, we think that the things that we were doing before, we have to stop. No, you can repurpose your talents. And so if you play an instrument or you have the ability to sing, you can start to make gospel music. Or if you're interested in these areas, just explore them. You can try at a church choir. But there's also a whole social media section that's dedicated to finding new gospel artists. So if you're passionate about music or have like a good music ear, you can use this as a way to connect with other Christians and kind of share your playlist, kind of like what I do with the song of the day, and kind of curating music for other Christians to find, or a playlist for them to find. I can't sing or anything, but I ended up finding out I can write poetry, which was shocking to me because I never had this talent before finding God. And quick story, I asked God, I prayed, and I was like, God, reveal to me my talents and reveal to me my gifts. And God started to show me things that I didn't know about myself. So if you are feeling stagnant or you don't know kind of what to do, ask God. And along with music, if you are a painter or you're into just art or creating some type of art, you can still do those things. And there's a lot of different areas that can utilize you. Even if you are like a graphic design artist, there's a lot of work that you can do. Even in the church, like creating the flyers, and there's a lot.
This section was pretty big, so I did divide it in 4 main categories. I'm pretty sure I did not get everything, but don't forget these activities are also transitional, meaning if you don't want to cut off your friends and family that are not on the same page, you want to have interaction with them, go ahead and invite them to a class or take up one of these hobbies and try something at home and do it with them with conversation. So that way you guys aren't compromising your faith to hang out with people that you still love and do not want to remove from your life, but no longer have much in common with.
Next, I want to talk about serving. I underestimated how important serving others and serving your church is. Actually, for you to get the full impact of your church, it is best that you do serve. And this is a way where you can potentially meet new friends and find other hobbies and find other events going on that might cater to your liking. And so this will also help you get closer to God. By serving, I found out so many things about myself, and I was able to build the community that helped pour into me. So if this is something that you're interested in, it can help you with your mindset, and you can find a lot of wisdom through doing this. So you might want to try serving at your local church or like a community. If you feel something should have made the list but didn't, or if you have a hobby that many people may not know about, go ahead and drop it in a comment so other people can become aware of these things and pick up something as well. Here, what I've come to realize is a lot of our walk with God is about moving intentional. So I want to also give you guys some intentional habits that might help you later, but could still potentially seem boring. And if you're really intentional during this, I want to be really intentional during this time, it's a perfect time to go out on a fast. A lot of the reason why you're feeling bored is because you can't do the things that you used to do, so you feel a void. So if that is the case, this is a perfect time to unplug from everything, everybody, and let God speak to you. So you can receive clarity on what you are to do next. It may seem boring when you are first a Christian because it's like, dang, I can't do nothing. But I'm telling you, it will help you so much. The next thing you may want to try to do is to develop discipline. And this is like maybe if you are not good with having a schedule or something like that, this would be a nice time to start to discipline yourself to spend quality time with God, or just discipline yourself in your life in general. Have a time to work out. Don't eat beyond this time, because you are experiencing so much changes and you are doing a lot of different things. I noticed during my journey, I started to get fat because it's like I couldn't do anything. I just needed to eat all the time. And so if you develop discipline now, you may not like it while you're doing it, but you will thank yourself later. Also, journaling was one of the biggest things that I started to do that helped me. And I mentioned it earlier, but you can go and reread your progress. I started to journal my prayers, journal my thoughts, and it's so nice to go back and see God changing the things that you kind of wrote down and the problems that you had, or the things that you really want to talk to God about, or ask God for, and he's answering those prayers and things like that. So you can also start to work on your purpose during this time. So if that's something that you are interested in doing and you know what it is, work on your purpose. I found out one of my callings and I started to work on it, and I didn't realize how much time it took up, but it really made my days just fly by, and I really enjoyed it. So if that's something that you know already, and you already know your purpose, jump into it. Use this time of isolation as a time to do it. Don't just see it as, like, dang, I'm just always by myself, there's nothing to do. Just really work on that, and the things that God has for you will start to find you and start to fall in alignment. So that's something that I want you guys to take away from this. One of my biggest takeaways from finding God is finding out that my mind, my body, and my spirit was not on the same level. And because it was not in alignment, my mind and my body was craving things that I no longer wanted to do, but yet it felt like it needed those things. And you have to realize you've been going to these things for probably a long time for comfort. And now you're trying to switch it up. And so you can't be shocked when your body and your mind starts raging and wanting to do things that you used to do. And I wish I would have known that before finding God, because I didn't even know that that was a thing. And it started to make me want to crave different things. And so instead of dropping all habits, you might want to work on replacing them with healthier habits that are more in alignment with what you want to do. Because what I found out is half of the stuff my mind and my body was craving was stuff I no longer even liked. I no longer wanted to do, but I was just so used to doing something, it just needed anything. And it's like why am I wanting to go to the club tonight? Like, I don't even like going to the club. Why do I feel so restricted as a Christian? And I didn't understand it. But what I had to learn is your mind, your body, and your spirit are not in alignment when you give your life to God. They don't all just say, okay, we're on this new wave. They do not do it easily. So that transition can kind of be rough for that reason. And so if you are having problems in this area, just know that your mind and your body might just be raging and craving something that you had before. And it's like a kid. They don't want the thing until you take the thing away from them. And now they can't stop thinking about the thing, or now that's all that they want. And so just think of yourself in that same manner.
Read, write, think, pray, meditate.
I want to give us a verse to meditate on, and this is going to come from Romans chapter 7, verses 15. And it says, I really don't understand myself, for I want to do what's right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I hate. But if I know what I'm doing is wrong, this shows that I agree that the law is good. So I'm not the one doing wrong. It is sin living in me that does it. And so I wanted to just leave this with you guys to meditate on, because we can want to do what's right in our heart, but our body is not on the same page. And so if this is you, and every time you think about something that you used to do, that you want to do, you're mourning your old life, I want you guys to go back and listen to this Bible verse and just really think about it. You don't want to do these things anymore. The sin living inside of you do. So you have to get to a point that you no longer like that sin. And it takes some time. Don't be hard on yourself. Take it day by day and ask the Lord to guide you. And that is all that I have for today's topic. If you guys have any questions or concerns, write them below. And be sure to also include any hobbies or activities that you feel like more people should explore, or that could help someone. And be sure to check out Jay Foster's new single. And until next time.